The birth of soccer, from chaos to the beautiful game soccer, or football as it's known around the world, is the most beloved sport on earth. Played by millions, it inspires passion, unites nations, and even sparks revolutions. But the story of soccer's origins is a tale of chaos, rivalry, and an unlikely journey to becoming the beautiful game. Ancient beginnings. The wild origins. Soccer's roots stretch back thousands of years. In ancient China, the game of Cuju, literally, kickball, was played during the Han Dynasty around 200 BCE. Soldiers would kick a leather ball stuffed with feathers through a small goal. It wasn't just a sport, it was a way to train for war. Meanwhile, in ancient Greece and Rome, games involving kicking, carrying, and throwing balls emerged. The Romans brought a version of the game called harpastum to Britain, planting the seed of what would one day become modern soccer. But medieval England took the game to a whole new level. Medieval mayhem. Mob football. In the 12th century, soccer, or rather, something resembling it, became a staple of English towns. Known as mob football, it was less a game and more a free-for-all. Entire villages would compete, with hundreds of people kicking, punching, and wrestling to move a ball toward a designated goal. There were no rules. The ball could be carried, thrown, or kicked. Injuries were common, and deaths weren't unheard of. The game was so chaotic that King Edward II banned it in 1314, declaring it a distraction from archery practice, which was crucial for national defense. But the bans didn't stop the people. The game lived on, evolving into something more structured as centuries passed. The turning point. The 19th century revolution. By the 1800s, soccer had spread to English schools, but each school had its own rules. At rugby school, players could pick up the ball and run with it. At Eton, the game was all about dribbling and passing. The lack of standardization led to confusion when teams from different schools played against each other. Finally, in 1863, a group of men gathered at the Freemasons' Tavern in London to solve the chaos. They founded the Football Association, FA, and wrote the first official rules of soccer. This marked the birth of modern soccer. One major decision split the sport forever: whether players could use their hands. The answer was no. Those who wanted to continue handling the ball formed their own sport, rugby. The global explosion. Soccer quickly spread beyond England. British sailors, merchants, and workers introduced the game to every corner of the world. By the late 19th century, soccer clubs were springing up in Europe, South America, and beyond. In 1904, FIFA, Fédération Internationale de Football Association, was founded in Paris, uniting the sport under a global governing body. The first FIFA World Cup followed in 1930, hosted by Uruguay, and it cemented soccer as a global phenomenon. The rise of icons and legends. As the sport grew, so did its heroes. Players like Pelé, Diego Maradona, and Johan Cruyff elevated the game, turning it into an art form. Pelé's brilliance brought Brazil 3 World Cup titles, while Maradona's infamous "Hand of God" goal in 1986 became one of soccer's most controversial moments. In Europe, teams like Real Madrid, Manchester United, and Barcelona became powerhouses, captivating fans with their rivalries and dominance. The Champions League turned club soccer into a global spectacle, while the World Cup became the pinnacle of the sport. Soccer today. The beautiful game today. Soccer is more than just a sport, it's a universal language. From the dusty fields of Africa to the packed stadiums of Europe, it transcends borders and unites people of all backgrounds. Its evolution from medieval chaos to the most finely tuned game in the world is a testament to its enduring appeal. Soccer is more than a game of goals, it's a story of humanity itself.